There are only two main reasons for methane production. One is the creation of meat through cows, pigs, chickens, goats, you name it. If we would just simply stop our export of leather and our export of meat, we would bring our meat production down to 20% of current levels. Within 4 years, our Ganges would stop flooding and stop drying up. Our glaciers would stop melting. The Himalayas would be more secure. But what we have done is we're looking at a 10,000 crore increase every year in leather.
So it brings us to the important paradigm again, economic development versus ecological conservation.
The people who own the entire meat export industries that are causing the methane problem that is killing us, really it's killing us. When you're talking about economic development, not a single person has become rich because of the production of meat. Let me explain to you. Everybody's become poor because of that. A, that all animals grow on a free fund, which is they enter the public forests, they go onto hills, mountains, and they enter what is known as grasslands. And they eat everything. So what we're getting is a total drought area because, for instance, every forest of ours, instead of having wild animals in it, I've got millions of cows and buffaloes in them and goats. So all the rivers are drying up because all your little rivulets, our entire Aravalli hills, which are supposed to feed us with water, there's not one blade of grass on them because all the goats have fed on them. Now we've taken loans from the World Bank of 9,000, 10,000 million or whatever, and reseeded everything, re-put everything, but the moment you do that, the goats come back. Now, as a result, the weather has changed, so the farmers have gone destitute. Two, the people who work in the leather industry and the meat industry are the poorest of the poor, and they are expected to work for the lowest daily wages, and they stand in chemicals from morning to night. About 70% get skin disease and cancer and are sacked as soon as they get it. If you go to the villages around where the meat industries are, you will see that utter poverty level there. The people who own the export industries are all non-Indians. Most of them pay no tax. Al Kabir, for instance, the man has bought himself 2 Boeings, but he has not paid his taxes for 25 years because he says he's declared a loss every year. See, you take Al Kabir India, export it to Al Kabir Dubai, also owned by him. Al Kabir Dubai then says all the meat was rubbish. So you keep declaring a loss here. He gets 3 million litres of water free from the government every day. Were we not to have these industries, we would have good weather, we would have rich farmers, we would not have to depend on fertilizers and pesticides because we would have a normal cycle. Our women would be much stronger because they wouldn't have to run around for water. We wouldn't have political unrest. Good climate brings its own peace and harmony and the ability to develop economically. It is not industries that are killing us. Do you know that if I were to grow peas and want to export them, government charges me 20% in tax. But were I to start a slaughterhouse, government gives me 100%, gives it to me, gives me the money to start it, and I get 100% tax exemption. So what are we looking at? The whole methane debate comes down to this. It's a question of changing the actual paradigms that the government sees and stop pretending that it's poverty versus environment debate. It is not.
But how practical would it be for expecting the rest of the world to give up meat?
It's not practical at all. So therefore we'll all go to hell together. The problem is 1 kilo of meat is made with 60,000 calories, which is also carbon dioxide. So not only does it use huge amounts of methane, it's using 1 kilo of meat uses 11 kilos of plants because that animal has to eat. So you're causing world hunger, you're causing world heat and world cancer because meat again gives you a host of diseases that you need not have.